Your greatest spiritual battle isn't against a stranger, it's against the version of yourself you haven't yet surrendered to God. In the spiritual life, being chosen is not a badge of effortless superiority, it is a summons to a more intense battlefield. As the video Types of Lust Every Chosen One Faces suggests, those called to a higher purpose often encounter the most sophisticated temptations. For the Catholic, this struggle is understood through the lens of concupiscence, the wounded inclination toward sin that remains even after baptism. St. John the Apostle warns us in 1 John 2:16, "For all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh and the lust of the eyes and the pride of life, is not of the Father, but is of the world." To overcome these, we must identify which face the enemy wears when he approaches our soul. 1. The lust of the flesh, the war against the temple. The most immediate type of lust is the disordered desire for physical pleasure. For the chosen one, the body is not a playground, but a temple of the Holy Spirit, 1 Corinthians 6:19. The lust of the flesh seeks to reduce the human person and image of God to a mere object of consumption. Catholic doctrine, particularly the theology of the body developed by St. John Paul II, teaches us that lust is the reduction of the other. When we succumb to this, we are not seeking love, we are seeking an escape. The chosen one faces this acutely because the enemy knows that if he can defile the vessel, he can muffle the message. The remedy: frequent reception of the Eucharist and the sacrament of reconciliation. As St. Augustine, who famously struggled with this lust, wrote, "Our hearts are restless until they rest in thee." 2. The lust of the eyes, the trap of comparison and greed. This isn't just about what we look at, but how we look at it. The lust of the eyes is the insatiable hunger for what we do not have, materialism, envy, and the visual consumption of others' lives. In the digital age, this manifests as scrolling envy. The Bible tells us the eye is the lamp of the body, so if your eye is healthy, your whole body will be full of light. Matthew 6:22. For the chosen one, the enemy uses the lust of the eyes to distract them from their specific mission. If you are looking at what someone else has, you cannot see the tools God has placed in your own hands. The Catholic perspective, this is a violation of the 10th commandment, "You shall not covet." We are called to custody of the eyes, a practice of intentionally turning our gaze away from things that incite greed or impure thoughts. 3. The lust for power, the chosen one trap. Perhaps the most dangerous lust for those who know they are called by God is the pride of life, or the lust for power. This is the temptation to use one's spiritual gifts for self-glorification rather than service. It is the lust of the ego. Even the apostles fell into this, arguing over who was the greatest. Jesus corrected them sharply. "Whoever would be great among you must be your servant." Matthew 20:26. If you feel you are chosen, the enemy will whisper that you are special, leading you toward the sin of presumption, thinking you are above the moral law or the need for humble obedience to the church. The 3 pillars of victory. To face these types of lust, the Catholic tradition offers 3 indispensable weapons: prayer, fasting, and almsgiving. Prayer realigns our desires with God's heart. Fasting disciplines the flesh, proving to our soul that we are not slaves to our appetites. Almsgiving breaks the power of greed and the lust of the eyes by forcing us to detach from the world. The role of Our Lady. In Catholic tradition, the Blessed Virgin Mary is the new Eve who crushed the head of the serpent. She is the model of the perfectly ordered soul. Where lust seeks to take, Mary's fiat, "Let it be done to me," seeks to give. For any chosen one feeling overwhelmed by the types of lust described in the video, turning to the rosary is a direct line to the grace of purity. The chosen one is not someone who never feels temptation. They are someone who refuses to be defined by it. The Beatitudes promise, "Blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God." Matthew 5:8. Lust is a counterfeit of the intimacy we actually crave. It promises a feast but leaves us starving. By identifying which type of lust is your thorn in the flesh, you can bring it to the foot of the cross. Remember, God does not choose the perfect. He perfects those he chooses through the fires of spiritual discipline and the ocean of his divine mercy. Stand firm in your calling. The world does not need more people who fit in. It needs souls who have been purified in the desert of temptation and have emerged carrying the light of Christ. If this message helped you identify the spiritual hurdles in your path, don't walk this journey alone. Subscribe now to join our community of faith and receive daily insights to help you master your soul and fulfill your divine mission.